Hello YouTube, welcome to another video. Today we're going to talk about structs and maps. So I went ahead and created my map structs directory, created my map structs.go file, and on the main.go file I went ahead and imported my map structs function. And this is my import. Also just check that I created a constant here in order to address that import in such way rather than using, I believe that you cannot use underscore, so it is needed to put that constant as so in order to import your package. So then going into the file, I'm gonna go here, and this is my main function of the map structs file. So what are we gonna do here? Why do we need structs? Why are they useful? Well, first of all, Golang doesn't have classes, so instead of classes you use structs, which is something that C uses. So very similar to C, Golang uses structs, and you can model data, behavior, your whole program and whatnot after the fact, or more like after using the structs that you create. So we're gonna go ahead and create a type of struct right now called product, and we're gonna simulate an inventory. Why an inventory? Because I also want to show you guys how to use maps. And maps are very useful because they check for uniqueness. So if you have a key that should be unique, you can do useful things like, for example, let's say that you create a map also called a hash map, a dictionary. You have that unique key, but you can see repeated repetitions of that key. So then, you cannot put a key twice. You can say like, okay, this key, I've seen it twice. And that's kind of like how we're going to use our inventory. If we see a category of a product that we've already seen, then we can say that in our inventory we have two of such product. So we're going to go ahead and create our struct. So in this case, I'm going to create a product struct. This is going to have an ID of type string. It's going to have a name of type string. It's going to have a price of float 64. And it's going to have a category of type string. So that is how we create struct. Now notice how we have this capitalized. Both for interfaces and struct, you always have to capitalize them. There's no way that you can lowercase them. Also, let's say that we want to add a method, kind of like a method to a class. Well, here you can add a method to a struct. Now you will do that in the following way. We've seen functions, so now you are familiar with this syntax. We've used it along this tutorial series, but now more than ever. So what I can do is either point to my struct. You don't necessarily have to point, but it's very customary to use a pointer to our struct in order to signify that this method belongs to that struct. And then you proceed to name your method, which in this case I'm going to call it return info. So here what you can do is put parameters. I'm not going to put any parameter here, but I am going to put a return data type, which I'm going to be returning a string. Now, as you can see here, this is to declare to which struct it belongs to. What is the name of the method? So it's not a function because this is attached to a struct. If you want to put parameters, we could put like a string, b string, but in this case, we're not going to be using parameters. And then what's the data type to return? Which also, by the way, you could return, a struct if you wish so, but in this case, we're only going to be returning a string. So what I'm going to be doing is declare variable info, and let me see if I can force an import so I can use the snippet. I'm not going to be using print line. I'm going to be using sprintf, so fps, no, okay, all right. So I'm gonna use this and change it for an s. there you go, sprintf. So this will allow me to format my string and also assign it to my info variable. So what I'm going to do is, since we declared p as the pointer to our product struct, I can access the attributes or other methods if they would exist. Well, not attributes, fields is the correct word, but I can access the fields of my product struct. So here what I can do is say the following. I actually already have this created, and it's just me writing string formatting, which I'm sure you really don't care on seeing me doing that. So I'm just gonna go ahead and copy paste it, just making sure that you understand that this p comes from here, and we are referencing the p.id field, p.name, p.price, p.category. And then I gotta make sure it says info. Cool. Lastly, I'm gonna print the info, and I'm also going to return the info in case that I want to assign this to a variable. So that's the first thing. So now you learn how to create a struct and how to assign methods to it. So doing also a little bit of a recap, and also this is pertinent to this tutorial, I'm gonna go ahead and create a function. So this is not a method, this is a function separate from any struct, right? That will create a map, create and return a map. And obviously this is a very specific map that will take a slice. So I'm gonna call this products. And as you can guess, it'll take a slice of product structs. And I'm going to be returning a map that will have keys of type string and values of type integer. And yes, this is how maps look, and you'll see how to create maps right now. But the map here this is how you declare the key type and the value type. So I'm gonna go ahead and say imap, or inv map for inventory, is equal to make. So this is how you initialize the empty map with keys of type string and values of type int. So I'm gonna do the following for each product that I get from the range products. I want to first of all p get the info, so return info, and then make sure if that product is already in our map. So if the key already exists, and for this I have to point to my inventory map, and I'm going to say my p category because I want to put the key value as the key as my p dot category. So if that key exists, then I'm just going to add a counter to my inventory, meaning that we have an extra of that an extra product of that category. If that category has not been seen yet, then I'm just going to set that equal to 1. And then here we can go ahead and put like a processed, so product processed, and we need to return the map. So I'm gonna go ahead and return inventory map. So that is my function. So now here in map structs, what I'm going to do, the following thing that I'm going to do is going to create a slice. So you guys have seen slices, and now that we're seeing struct, this is my slice of product types. So this whole slice has multiple products. So these are my different IDs, right? So my IDs, these are the name of my products. So for example, the Nintendo Switch, which has this price and is of category video games. The MacBook Pro, which can be a little bit pricey sometimes. of category computers, mechanical keyboards. This is also a very expensive mechanical keyboard, I guess. Category accessories, and then the Raspberry Pi with the price, category computers, Fender guitar, the price, and musical instruments. So there is my slice. So now what I can do is say inventory. So I'm going to declare this variable and assign it to whatever return value, which we know that will be a map. Whatever return value that the create map function returns. So I'm gonna have to pass a slice of I'm gonna pass this slice, and I will get back an inventory assigned to that inventory variable. And I can easily do the following. I can print my inventory. So I'm gonna say in inventory, and we want to see what we have in inventory. Inventory, there you go. So that way, that's a really quick way of seeing which products we already have. And here I'm just gonna print kind of like a division line. So inventory, then I'm just gonna yank the word and paste it there. Okay. So yeah, I believe that is all that we need. So I'm gonna go ahead now and run this, and as you can see, we have I'm gonna go to the top. So we have our first product, which is a Nintendo Switch, then product process, right? So the printing that you see here is from the get info method. Same with the MacBook Pro, the price, category. Same with the mechanical keyboard, price and category. Same with the Raspberry Pi, price, category, and lastly, same with the guitar, Fender guitar. And then once that last product is processed, then you can see that the next thing that's coming is that we see printing is the inventory. So we can see in the inventory that we have of type accessories. I don't know how to say it properly. Accessories, we have one product of that type. Then computers, we have two products of that type. And then instruments, one product of that type, and video games, one product of that type. So the last thing that we're going to do is to add one more video game console, so you can see how the map will work. So I'm gonna put here the PS5. Let's say that right now they're selling at 450, and the category is the same. So now here, as you can see, right now we haven't processed these addition of video games. Right now the video game says 1, so we should be seeing 2. So I'm gonna go ahead and run this, and now as you can see we have 2 video games. So that is how you use structs, how you use methods assigned to structs. That's how also you use maps. We did a little bit of a recap of functions, and how can you reference the struct itself within the method. So I hope that you liked this video. If you learned something and you liked it, give it a like, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.